Hi everyone, this is your host Shishir Nigam. Welcome to Astrology Channel Vedic Impressions. Today we are going to talk about Sun, which is the ultimate source of energy on Earth. We will talk about what role does Sun play in our life, how to interpret Sun's impact on our life with the help of Vedic astrology. We'll go through Sun's placement in each of the 12 houses in horoscope. Please bear in mind that these are general results of Sun's placement. To arrive at final conclusion in anyone's chart, whole chart needs to be analyzed. Role of other planets, transit of planets, dashas needs to be understood before making any prediction. If you like this video and if it helps in enriching your knowledge, please do like and subscribe Vedic Impressions channel. And if you are interested in learning Vedic astrology, please do visit my website, www.vedicimpressions.com. So let's begin. We all know that all planets in our solar system revolve around the sun, and that life is not possible on Earth without the energy of the sun. In astrology, Sun is treated as a planet, but its properties doesn't change. It is considered a fiery planet and is karka of many things. Let's see what Phaladipika, it's an ancient book in astrology written in Sanskrit. Let's see what Phaladipika says about Sun. Tamram Swarnam Pitra Shubhafalam Cha Atma Kya Pratapam Dharya Shaurya Sam Iti Vijayam Rajsevam Prakasham Shav Karyam Van Giri Gatin Hom Karya Pravartim Devasthan Kathayatu Buddhistashanya Saham Kartam. So what does this mean? This shloka is talking about what are the different karkas of Sun. So Tamra means copper, Swarna means gold, Pitra father, Shubphalam, good results, Cha Atma, which is soul, Kya Pratapam, Khyati, it's related to Khyati, which is fame, Dhairyam, patience, Shaurya, which is courage, Sam Iti Vijayam, it's victory, Rajsevam is government service, Prakasham, that it means the sun gives enlightenment of all these karkas that is spoken in these two lines. Shaivam Karyam, which is prayer to Lord Shiva. Van Giri Gatim. Van is forest, Giri is mountains. Gatim means going to these places, which is forest and mountains. Hom Karyam Pravartim means involvement in auspicious activities, which involve fire, that is called Havan in Hindu religion. Devasthanam Kathayatu, which is Devasthan is a religious place. Buddhistashanya means the person having a sharp brain. Saham Kartam, which is the courageous acts. So Sun is the karka of all these things which are mentioned in this shloka. Now, we also need to see that this book was written way back in 12 to 15 AD. So we need to interpret it in such a way so that it is relevant to the current time. So what I mean to say is that it talks about Pitra Shubhafalam or Dharya Shaurya, etc. Or it talks about government service, right? It is actually can be interpreted in a way that it is talking about authority figures, or in current context, you can also interpret that it is talking about the ego of the people. Similarly, we have to also see that when we talk about father does not mean that son is only representing males. Anyone in the family who's acting like a father or who's playing the role of a father, it can be a female as well. So that female will be represented by sun in the horoscope. Similarly, in private setup or in office, your boss will be represented by sun in the horoscope. So if you want to decode your chart and understand the problems you are having in the office, or the support that you are getting in the office from your bosses, you'll have to check the placement of the sun. Okay. Similarly, it can be a lady boss as well. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not male always. Sun, though the shloka says father or father-like figure, it doesn't mean that it's talking about only males. One more point to be noted is that sun is a pure fire. So it is auspicious if it is used in good work, for example, in kitchen or for auspicious work, etc. But at the same time, sun is partially malefic because fire can burn as well if it is not controlled. So we should be careful while interpreting the chart that in what context we are talking about the results of the sun's placement. If it is afflicted, say with Rahu or with Ketu, or it has got aspect of Saturn, etc., right? The other malefic planets, then we have to actually see what kind of results, what kind of malefic results sun can also give. Now let's see how to interpret sun's placement in horoscope. If sun in the first house, most of the people that I have seen, I have spoken to, say that sun in the first house, it represents that the native will get the government job. Well, that's not correct in current context. Maybe in ancient times when these books were written, or when there are plenty of government jobs around, or people used to prefer to get into government job, this was true. But whenever we are interpreting any chart, we should always see it in current context. We all know that getting a government job in current time is not that easy, or there are not many options available. So having sun in the first house doesn't mean that you'll get the government job. And you see, when is sun in the first house? Sun is in the first house for every native who is born in first 2 hours of sunrise. So you can see that there are high number of chances, or there are many people having sun in the first house, but everybody will not go into government job in current time. See, if sun is placed in first house, since first house represent you or your personality, and if there's influence of sun on your personality, that means that the person himself or herself will be very authoritative, dominating, and obstinate. Since sun gives energy, so you'll see that such people are very active during the day. Specifically, if it's a sunny day, then you'll see that these people are very active. Otherwise, also during the day, they are quite active. They cannot sit at one place. If I add one more dimension to this kind of analysis of sun's placement in first house. And if we add zodiac sign here, because zodiac sign can vary in first house, the house remains fixed, but there can be any zodiac sign from 1 to 12, from Aries to Pisces. But specifically, I would like to talk about if Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, either of these three signs are in first house. See, why I'm talking about these three signs particularly, because these three are also fiery signs. And if Sun, which is also a fiery planet, is placed in first house, that is on your personality, in a fiery sign, then it impacts in a positive or negative, in both ways, your personality. It strengthens fiery traits on the native's personality, that is aggression, dominance, etc. You will see that such natives lose their hairs in young age. From first house, Sun directly aspects seventh house. Right, this is seventh house. So from first house, it directly aspects seventh house, and seventh houses of your spouse, your business partners, etc. Thus, the native, such a native, whether it is in fiery sign or not, the native will dominate all the people represented by seventh house. The native will show authority over such people. Why I'm saying so is, these things come into use if your business partner or your spouse have Sun in ascendant, that is in first house. He or she will dominate you. And if you are the native, then you are going to dominate them. And if partner is also having the strong placement of planet which can match such a placement of Sun, then such partnership are not likely to survive. During horoscope matching, it is to be taken care that such business partnership or marriages are not advised. Let's move on to the second house. What happens if Sun is placed in the house, in the second house in your natal chart? Then focus of your life is going to be on speech, food habits, finance, and physical assets, family. Sun house, second house represent all these things. Specifically because the house is first of the Artha house. The way we count is this: first house is Dharma, second Earth. This is Kam, this is Moksha. Again, Dharma, Earth, Kam, Moksha. Dharma, Earth, Kam, Moksha. So this is first of the Earth house. This is house of, we can say, materialism. So it represents physical and financial assets. It also represents your family, food, etc. Because this house is first of Artha house, natives, most of the energy is spent in accumulating wealth. Since Sun represents authority, such people wants to attain the power which you get being rich. Such people are very possessive and intuitive, as it is the house of speech. You will find them a bit witty as well. The way they speak is very authoritative, because Sun is a karka of authority, and second house is the house of speech. So Sun placed in second house means the person speak with a lot of authority. Also, Sun represents father, right? And then second house is of family. So these people are highly influenced by their father. You will see that their facial features resembles with father. They follow the teachings of father. In most of the cases, they follow the profession of father as well. They will also follow family traditions. They like salty food because it's the house of the food, and in terms of taste, sun represent salt. So they like salty food more in comparison to sweet. Let's move on to sun in the third house. This house is called Parakrama house. Basically, it is the house of courage. It's the house of self-effort, hobbies. It's also the house of your childhood friends or siblings. Now, what happens if sun is placed in third house? Well, sun is authority. Sun is soul. Sun is also your ego. So if sun is placed in this house, it enhances bravery, it enhances courage. You will see such placement in soldiers' horoscope, the people in armed forces. These people are very confident, they are risk takers. And since this is also house of hobbies, they have many hobbies. It is also good placement for entrepreneurs because sun allows you to take risk, and it's the house of hobbies. So people choose their profession, which is also their hobby. So sun's placement in third house, people can actually start their business. They can be very successful. Of course, we'll have to see other placement in the horoscope as well, but this is a good indication in terms of people who are interested to start their own work. Since it's the house of siblings, so and sun placement brings light to this house. So these people are very fond of siblings, or we can say that they are center of attraction among siblings, even among cousins. Same is true for their relationship with the childhood friends. These people continue to follow their hobbies lifelong. Their facial features are very attractive. Since third house is of written communication, these people are fond of writing blogs and small articles. Let's move on to the fourth house. Okay, fourth house. Fourth house is your residence and happiness. It's also for your mother. It also shows your real estate properties, your four-wheeler, that is your vehicle. It represents your residence. It also represents your happiness, among many other things. Now, if sun is placed in fourth house, usually such people will own a property which will be well ventilated with sunlight. Yeah, that's one of the things which I have observed after going through many horoscopes. Since this house for mother and sun placed here is the karka of father, you will see that in such natives' life, mother plays the role of a father, right? Father may be away for some reason, and mother takes over both the responsibilities of being a mother and father. So that is also normally seen in such a placement. They're very fond of family life and feel secured at home. And if they do business, they set up their office in their own house or at a very short distance from house. These people follow teachings of their mother. In most of the cases, their facial features resembles with mother. Let's move on to the next one, the fifth house. Fifth house is of intelligence, romance, children, blessings of past lives, good karmas, that which we call purva punya. It is seen to check the analytical ability or the capability to achieve success in academics. Yes, this is a house of intelligence, and any good aspects, though we are talking about sun's placement here, specifically if there's an impact of Jupiter or Venus or Mercury, that also shows that the intelligence level of the native. This placement, sun in fifth house, we also need to check whether native will have children. And if yes, then what kind of relationship he or she will have with children. So if sun is placed in this house, then the person will have high intelligence. They are very creative. Since sun also indicates rhythm, such natives will be good in dancing, acting, singing, etc. They like to be among children because this fifth house represents children, and sun shows that your inclination or your soul's inclination is towards this house. So they like to be among children. Hence, they become good teachers or go into other professions which involves children. They are attention seekers, and they use all the tricks under their fold to stand out in the crowd. This house represents future as well. So sun in fifth house, people are very, very visionary. They plan their future well. That's about fifth house. So let's talk about sun in sixth house. So what is sixth house? Sixth house is of competition, your daily routine. It talks about 3Ds, which are disputes, debts, diseases. So this house is very important because it is the first of the 3 Dushtana houses, because 6, 8, and 12 are Dushtana houses. So sixth house is the first of the Dushtana house, second is 8th house, and the third one is the 12th house. Now, as I said, 6th house represents 3Ds, diseases, disputes, and debts. If sun is placed in this house, then it actually makes you suffer because of either of these 3Ds. Okay, but at the same time, this is another Artha house. In the previous section, I had explained how the horoscope is divided into 4 categories of dharma, arth, kama, moksha. Dharma, arth. So this is second of the Artha house, and it is related to your daily routines as well. So the kind of karma that you are doing in your daily routine, it gives you results in terms of gaining wealth as well. So we have to be very careful. If sun is placed here, that means your soul is placed here. If you get involved in any of dushkarma, or what we say is in wrongdoings, that means it will badly impact you. Positive side of this placement is that it is the house of competition, and sun placed here means people can win competition. They come out victorious. And since it is the house of diseases as well, diseases or enemies, right? In fact, disease is also one kind of enemy. So sun present here gives you enough courage to fight with the diseases. In fact, it has been seen in many cases, if sun is placed in the 6th house, of course, in a good dignity, then the people come out with the long-term ailments very successfully, and they defeat the disease very well after fighting with it. This placement is not good for the relationship with father. Sun represents father as well, and Sun placed in the Dushtana house, and in the house which denotes disease, deaths, and disputes. Either you will get into disputes with your father, or father may suffer from a disease. The other point is this house also represents your maternal uncle, whom we call Mama. So Sun present here may denote that Mama has got, or maternal uncle has got, a special place in your family. Maybe key decision making is happening around him, or his advice is being taken in critical matters. So that's it about sixth house. So that's it, friends. For now, I will cover Sun's placement in other houses from 7 to 12 in my next video. Hopefully, I will come out with that video by next week. And if you like this video, please do subscribe and like my channel, Vedic Impressions. If you're interested in learning Vedic astrology, please do visit my website, www.vedicimpressions.com. I will see you next week. Till then, please take care. Corona is not yet over, so please do wear mask. Please keep social distancing when you go out. Okay, bye-bye.